Washington is directly involved, not only by supplying the missiles, but also fully controlling their flight missions. The strike targeting civilians in Sevastopol will not go unanswered.
The U.S. State Department brushing off the threat with a reminder it was Russia that started the war in Ukraine in the first place.
We provide weapons to Ukraine so it can defend its sovereign territory against armed aggression. That includes in Crimea, which of course is part of Ukraine. And Russia could stop this war today.
Russia started the war out of self-defense. Now, he had that little dumb smirk on his face. He said, well, they could stop the war if they want to. It's like, well, if they stop the war, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go and get that territory.
That's it.
For the congregation of hypocrites.
It says the congregation of hypocrites, come on,
shall be desolate.
It shall be desolate. That's what America is, all right? Remember all of the wars they get involved with, same thing with their comrades Amalek over there claiming to be us. They make up a lie, okay, and then they go to war off of that.
Right.
All right, this is the Wars and Rumors of Wars report brought to you by the Writings on the Wall radio show. All right, we're going to dive into it. Let's pull up the first article or video.
Russia blames U.S. for attacking Crimea as war in Ukraine rages on.
Wow. Tonight, Russia has summoned the U.S. ambassador to issue a formal warning. Expect retaliation. This comes after an attack launched by Ukraine using U.S.-made weapons and following more than 2.5 years of war that began when Russia invaded Ukraine. Here's national correspondent Christine Frazau.
Sounds of laughter followed by panic at a beach in Sevastopol, Crimea, the site of a missile strike Sunday launched by Ukraine. Russian authorities say more than 150 people were injured and at least 4 killed, including 2 children, and are blaming the United States.
Washington is directly involved, not only by supplying the missiles, but also fully controlling their flight missions. The strike targeting civilians in Sevastopol will not go unanswered.
The U.S. State Department brushing off the threat with a reminder it was Russia that started the war in Ukraine in the first place.
We provide weapons to Ukraine so it can defend its sovereign territory against armed aggression. That includes in Crimea, which of course is part of Ukraine. And Russia could stop this war today.
Instead, there are new fears of escalation. With new reports, Russia's considering violating a treaty it signed and planning to launch a nuclear anti-satellite weapon into orbit.
Now do me a favor,
also last week signing
Pause that real quick, because what was that Edomite's name that just spoke? Run it back a little bit to Edomite that was just speaking for America, please. There you go, that one with the skinny nose.
Provide weapons to Ukraine so it can defend its sovereign territory against armed aggression. That includes in Crimea, which of course is part of Ukraine. And Russia could stop this war today.
Stop.
Instead,
now you saw the look on his face, right? Don't forget why Russia started the war. Did anybody, for example, he knows that Americans don't pay attention.
Right.
He knows that nobody even realizes why Russia started the war. Why did Russia start the war?
Because of America.
Yes, because why? They were pushing their borders.
Right.
All right, extending their borders, and it was right in Russia's back door.
Right.
Russia started the war out of self-defense. Now, he had that little dumb smirk on his face. He said, well, they could stop the war if they want to. It's like, well, if they stop the war, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go and get that territory.
That's it.
Just to show you how hypocritical they are. Give me Job 15, all right? Job chapter 15 and give me 34. America is going to be responsible and is responsible for their own downfall. All right, watch this.
The book of Job, chapter 15 and verse 34.
Come on.
For the congregation of hypocrites.
It says the congregation of hypocrites, come on,
shall be desolate.
It shall be desolate. That's what America is, all right? Remember all of the wars they get involved with, same thing with their comrades Amalek over there claiming to be us. They make up a lie, okay, and then they go to war off of that.
Right.
Now Russia's trying to defend themselves, and America paints them as the bad guys or as the bullies. Now, read the verse again from the top.
For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate.
Come on.
And fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery.
Ain't that how America gonna get was that Revelation 18 and 10?
Yes, sir.
Right? Revelation 18 and 10, man. All right, the Bible is a true book. Read that for us.
The book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 10.
Come on.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Right, that judgment's coming is gonna come from what? That iron weapon. All right, the waster. That's how it's going to take place. It's gonna be on fire. Read the next verse. Back in Job, read the next verse.
The book of Job, chapter 15 and verse 35.
Go ahead.
They conceive mischief.
They conceive mischief. They conceive mischief. Excuse me. All right, that's what America does. That's what they plot on. That's what they think. When they wake up and rise up early in the morning, they think about evil upon their beds, like the scriptures say. Go ahead.
And bring forth vanity.
Uh-huh.
And their belly prepareth deceit.
Their belly prepareth deceit. Understand, there's no such thing as a good Caucasian. All right?
Bring it out.
I used to be a believer of that. This was my thing when I was growing up in the South. Yeah, Florida is the South. For all you haters out there.
Bring it out.
Never in my day would I ever thought that I would hear that Florida is not the South.
What?
I heard this today.
It's a dirty South, Cap.
What the hell?
It's the South. That's all I got to say. Put some respect on it.
Right.
And get it right. Get that thing right. And you know who you is.
Right. Bring it out.
All right. Now, I experienced racism my whole life.
Yes, sir.
So I had this thing in my mind because I grew up a Christian that I didn't mess with crackers, but I was cool with white people. Because I thought that there was a such thing as a cool white person.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bible told me different. Read it again.
Read it.
Verse 35.
Come on.
They conceive mischief, and they bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit.
That's what they do. All of them are the same thing. They may smile in your face, but back home at the crib, you already know what they're talking about.
Right.
These niggas. All right, you had something, officer? You was looking.
I had a store about some crackers. They I used to, you know what I'm saying? I thought the same thing, Kev. I thought the same thing. Yeah, some good ones out there. But when I came to like a cookout with them, and one they called me you a big buck.
Oh,
I ain't know what it was.
Oh,
then.
snap.
Ooh.
You ain't say what the?
Yeah, I ain't know what it was. They tapping me on, you know what I'm saying? Tapping me on. They said, boy, you make a big buck. But when I came in the truth, I found out what a buck was. I'm like, what? That was some racist stuff.
They said that to your
They
face.
said it to my face.
Straight to your face.
I went in the truth then, so I didn't know. I'm like, what? I said, hold on, they ain't feel good to my spirit, but I said, I don't know what it is. So I just was smiling.
Damn, Sam.
I'm like,
I
damn.
got
All
a
right,
story too.
tell your story. Tell your story.
Yes, sir. So like growing up, Cac, I grew up in Alabama. So we had a bus ride on a bus, and this cracker had a scarecrow in his yard, but he had it in a tree hanging by his neck. And I just remember being young. I'm like, okay, well, I felt so terrified. I'm just on the bus. I'm like, why he hanging by his neck? Yeah, it was like that.
That's Alabama.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, all right, what else we got, IT? All right, play that.
North Korea troops will become cannon fodder in Ukraine.
North Korean troops will become cannon fodder in Ukraine. Pentagon General. The Pentagon will monitor the possible movement of North Korean troops to Russia for their participation in the war in Ukraine. However, in the United States, they believe that these troops will become cannon fodder for the Ukrainian armed forces. This was stated by Pentagon spokesman General Patrick Ryder during a briefing. According to him, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. I think if I were in charge of North Korea's military personnel, I would question sending my forces as cannon fodder in an illegal war against Ukraine, Ryder said. He added that we have seen the losses of Russian troops. At the same time, the general emphasized that the United States will monitor this. Recall, North Korea and Russia have agreed to provide immediate military assistance to each other if either country faces an armed attack. The agreement, which President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed, also includes cooperation on nuclear energy, space exploration, and food and energy security, is one of Moscow's most high-profile moves in Asia in recent years.
So you got the attack done by Ukraine on Russia. Now you got North Korea getting involved. All right, that's what the scriptures say: nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation